MG EX234 1965 Pininfarina. The unique car offered here is one of the many fascinating might-have-beens in the history of the MG marque. Its planning began in 1964 when Abingdon's engineers' thoughts turned to a next-generation MGB that would have better chassis dynamics. Specifically, the new car would incorporate the independent rear suspension intended for the original but abandoned as too expensive. Designer Sid Inever's team was responsible for constructing the prototype, codenamed EX234, rating the BMC parts bin for the 1,275cc A-series engine and gearbox, Austin Champ rear axle, and hydroelastic suspension units. Suspension was by upper and lower wishbones all round, steering was by rack and pinion, and there were disc brakes on all four wheels. Once completed, the rolling chassis was dispatched to Pininfarina in Italy for bodying, and the result contains hints of the master coach builder's Fiat 124 Sport Spider and Alfa Romeo Duetto, while at the same time incorporating the swan-off camtail that would later appear on the Alfa Romeo 1750. EX234 was intended to replace both the Midget and the MGB, and despite being more compact than the latter offered a more generously sized interior. The exterior trim on either side was different, one style being for the GT version, the other for the open roadster. Back in the UK, EX234 was enthusiastically received by all who drove it. In his book MG, The Untold Story, David Knowles has this to say on the subject: Roy Brocklehurst took the EX234 prototype to Silverstone where, according to Jim Stimson, it was driven by a few trusted experts, including John Surtees. Roy said they told him that the road holding was as good as any car they had driven. So why didn't EX234 make it into production? At the time of its inception both the Midget and the MGB were still selling well, and it was felt by senior management that there was no pressing need for a replacement. The project was shelved. Following BMC's merger with Leyland to form British Leyland, the balance of power shifted within the reconstituted group in favor of Triumph, at least as far as thoughts of a new sports car were concerned, and when the time came it was the Triumph TR7 that was chosen, despite the MG marque's greater popularity in the USA, BL's most important export market. In 1977, with only 100 miles on the odometer, EX234 was acquired by the long-established MG dealer Sid Beer, becoming part of his MG Museum collection in Houghton, Cambridgeshire. While there it was driven by motoring journalist John Sprinzel, who had been a works MG driver back in the 1950s. In the resulting magazine article, Copy on File, he observes that the hydroelastic suspension kept the car beautifully flat and smooth through the corners, with none of the usual lurch over uneven bits of the surface. There was also no rear end steer, and I felt that even without any development input that the handling was far superior to the current Sprigget. The interior was vast, and for my 6 foot 3 inches of height, there was space for legs, knees, arms, and elbows. The small steering wheel was set amongst excellent instrumentation, and occupants were surrounded by interior trim far better than has been normal on Abingdon products, with comfortable seats and 2 compact extra back seats with better legroom than in the MGB GT. There was excellent visibility and really good braking. All in all, I concluded my little road test by thinking this would have been a delightful successor to both the B and Midgets, with good looks, great performance, and probably the continued money-making record of many years of Abingdon sports cars. Offered for sale by the Beer Family Trust, this unique and historic MG prototype comes with a current MO certificate, its original V5 registration document, and a copy of the original factory specification sheet. The car also comes with a factory hardtop, intended for use on the GT version, and has a folding convertible hood made of an attractive flocked material rather than the vinyl used for contemporary MGBs and Midgets.